Good morning. It is Tuesday, September 23rd. Currently looking at IPDN, SLE, SSKN. All three closed decently in the after hour session last night. None are jumping out at me as obvious this morning, but we'll have those pulled up until something pops up on the scanner. So SLE, SSKN both popped a little bit, but they're pulling back. SLE looks like it's the top gainer this morning so far, but it's pulling back. I'm watching IPDN. If this thing could flip over 450, took 300 shares there at 450. This thing pushed through 5. Looks like it's hesitating a little. All right, I just took the rest off right there. So I got about 25 cents on that one. SLE looks like it's moving now. 200 EMAs at $15.20. So that's about $2 away from where it's at now. Go back to IPDN. There you go. Now you're getting a nice move through 5. I don't really like that pop if you're looking on the 5-second chart. It went from about $5 to 560 and then immediately came back down. So I got SLE on one chart, IPDN on the other, kind of watching both to see what they do. SLE is more expensive at a little, well, it was about $13 a share, about $12.50 right now. I'm not sure I want to take something that expensive. I do think there will be better opportunities later on for cheaper stocks, which means I could get larger share size given my buying power. So even though SLE, I do kind of like the break over 1333. You could get a move up to 1520. I probably won't take that one though and hold off for something later in the morning. So you got SLE, IPDN, IPDN kind of popping and dropping. I don't really see a setup there. In UAI, it's too cheap. BETR, too expensive. Same with ATMV, too expensive. SSKN, the price is okay, the float's good, but it's kind of rolling over. And anything beyond that isn't really obvious. I don't think a lot of people will be watching stocks that far down on the scanner. But you do have Sava, Hollow, SLNH. I thought I saw SQFT. This one's put in some big moves in the past, but it's pretty far down. Only 179 shares of volume, so that one's no good right now. There's SLE breaking through the 1333. It's like it hit about 14, running into some resistance. IPDN trying to trend higher. I think at this point you could watch IPDN for a 5-minute setup. So maybe the next 5-minute candle at 410 to break the high of the current 5-minute candle. The only thing about IPDN is it's just running into a lot of resistance. You can see if you're watching the 1-minute candle, it's moving higher and then it just keeps getting beat down. It's not consistently kind of free flowing higher. It's struggling. It still is moving higher. It's a battle. And that's somewhat of a red flag. It is trying to go higher though. Personally, I wouldn't have taken this 5-minute candle to make a new high. You're too extended, and the previous 5-minute candle has that large topping tail. I would wait for consolidation on the 5-minute chart. So at this point, the 410 5-minute candle, you probably need to see it have small range, and then the 5-minute candle at 415. Jump in that one for a break higher. But like I said, I don't like the resistance this keeps running into as it moves higher. So I'm not sure what kind of resolution you'd see on a 5-minute setup. I think it kind of needs to work its way out of all these sellers. But we'll see. Yesterday, there were some good stocks that popped up at 7 a.m. and then kind of throughout the morning session up until the open. So I'm kind of thinking for today, maybe wait until like 6:30 to 9:30 to take the remaining trades. You'll have more volume in the market. We should see better follow through. I wouldn't say the market is super hot right now, but it's hot. It's warm. So I do think we'll see some nice setups later in the day. So I don't want to use all my buying power on kind of sub quality setups right at 4 a.m. when I think we can get probably some dollars per share on $3 or $4 stocks, probably around 7:38. If I had a margin account, I would be taking more trades with unlimited buying power, but not unlimited buying power, an unlimited amount of trades. But it's still in a cash account, so got to be cognizant of the buying power and its usage. I didn't record. I haven't recorded my trades the past few days. I've been trading still. I had mic issues the last video I recorded. I think that was Wednesday or Thursday last week. I've been trying to get that fixed. Hopefully, it looks like everything's up and running today. So now that I have my audio back, I'll try to start posting videos again. I'm sure it's pretty boring to watch a video with no audio. See my mouth moving, but you can't hear anything. I'm not sure I'd watch that. Hollow popping up. I think years ago, I traded Hollow. It had some really nice moves. It hasn't been too, I don't know, reliable since then, but see what it does later on. So honestly, on IPDN, I think I'm gonna hold off. It would be nice to maybe see one more 5-minute candle consolidate downward, and then the 5-minute candle at 420. Take that for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. Basically, just looking for a bull flag or a pullback setup on the 5-minute chart. I think that might yield a nice move higher. Right now, there's some daily levels to look out for. You have one at 630, 855, 920, and then 1239. It almost seems like there are bag holders on this. We had such a large move probably 2 or 3 weeks ago that now this thing is popping back up. People are trying to sell and get out of the position. That would explain why it's running into so much resistance. It does seem a bit early for people to be trying to bail on this, but that could be why we're seeing so much resistance as it tries to move higher. That first position on IPDN I took, I saw it hit 5 and then it pulled back a little bit. In hindsight, I probably should have sold the whole position there. I was holding and hoping it would break through 5. I thought maybe it would tap 5, pull back a little bit, and then go higher. I was watching the 5-second chart as well as the level 2. I didn't see any large sellers on the level 2. But once I saw these kind of larger, where were we? Right here. Once I saw these red 5-minute candles and it was starting to pull back, that's when I sold my position. That's kind of an exit indicator. So still got 25 cents. I think that's around $75. Yeah. So 74.93. And I have about half my buying power left over, so about $1,400 worth. Probably try to save that for 7 a.m. between 7 and 8. See if we get anything. So right now on the 1-minute chart, this looks like it's starting to roll over. It's kind of just, it's not really going sideways. It's more curving over the top. Don't like to see that. However, the 5-minute is looking good still. A more aggressive trade would be to take the next 5-minute candle to make a new high over 589. A safer trade would be if that next 5-minute candle still consolidates, small range, stays above VWAP, and then look for the 5-minute candle at 420 to make a new high. Still don't see anything else on the scanner this morning. SLE, IPDN, and then everything else is either cheap, low float, or doesn't have volume, or too expensive. Right now on the 5-minute chart, that last 5-minute candle closed a little bit larger than I would have liked. So I don't think I would take this 5-minute candle to make a new high. You'll be pretty extended at that point. If this candle can just stay narrow range, close somewhere around here, I would then look for the 5-minute candle at 420 to make a new high. You're pulling back on the 1-minute. There eventually will be the first 1-minute candle to make a new high. However, you had a first pullback here, second pullback here, third pullback here, and then it started to roll. So I think it needs to consolidate further sideways before I would take the first 1-minute candle to make a new high, which would be right there. The high of that previous 1-minute candle was 550. And this one popped up to 566. Okay, so that would have worked. You got about 28 cents if you captured the full move. I still think you're just extended. You need to consolidate more. I don't feel comfortable taking this 5-minute trade or that 1-minute trade. Especially with limited buying power, there will be better opportunities, better setups. And now this 5-minute candle looks horrible. Large topping tail. I think that just speaks to the amount of resistance you're seeing as, again, this thing tries to move higher. It's just not easy. It's definitely a battle. It's a struggle. So I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Look to be back in about 2 hours. See what we can get at 7. I would like to see if we get like a 5-minute pullback or a 1-minute pullback right at 7 on a leading gainer, and see if we can take that trade. I can't remember if it was Agri or Boxel that did that yesterday, but one of the two. It might have been QLGN. I don't remember. But look for something similar today at 7. If not at 7, then 7:30. Not 7:30, then 8. Basically the top and bottom of every hour until about 9:30. So, yep, I'm gonna call it there. I think I made $75 so far. Still have about 1,400 in buying power. Goal for this week is to make $200 a day. I'd like to have $1,000 week. Try to dig out from the horrendous week I had last week, but we'll see what happens. All right, good luck, everyone.